Hey, this is Dr. Bob with Carolina Value Pet Care. Thanks for tuning in today. If you're watching this video, this is because we would have directed you to watch this video for a very simple reason, because we suspect that your dog may have food allergies. So, a couple of things about food allergies, actually lots of things about food allergies. First and foremost, I'm going to suspect a food allergy in your dog if your dog is itchy year-round or sporadically year-round, and is primarily involving the ears, where we have like recurring ear infections, if we have a dog that's constantly licking at its feet, if we have a dog that's rubbing its face, scratching at its armpits, perhaps its groin area or belly area, and also around its rear end. So those are going to be sort of the hallmarks of a food allergy. Now, those can also be associated with seasonal allergies and environmental allergies, and those are actually quite frankly, more common than food allergies. But we're going to suspect a food allergy if it's more of a year-round problem. And I'm also going to consider the age of your dog. If you got a younger dog, a puppy, for example, that's 6, 7, 8 months of age, you better believe we're going to be thinking of food allergies, especially if we get a lot of biting, scratching, licking, itching, chewing, and also ear problems. Or if we got a dog that's never had an issue with seasonal allergies and they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years of age, and all of a sudden that they're starting to bite, scratch, and lick and chew. We're always going to be thinking of a food allergy. The exception to that would be if you have moved in the last couple of years to a new location, because certainly when it comes to seasonal and environmental allergies, that is definitely going to be dictated by location, location, location. So if you've moved from one house to another house, even if it's in the same zip code, certainly that could certainly be an environmental or seasonal allergy, and that would be a separate discussion. But getting back to food allergies, you would have received one of these handouts. I do have a lot of details. I just want to hit the high points on this so you have a better understanding of what's involved with the food allergies. First and foremost, understand food allergies, there is no reliable test for food allergies. We do have reliable tests for the seasonal allergies and for the environmental or indoor allergens, but there is no reliable test for food allergies. So with that in mind, how do we think, or how do we know what dogs are most likely to be allergic to? Well, we've been doing food allergy trials for, 50, 60 years now. So we know from decades and thousands of dogs what they're most likely to be allergic to. So in short, what are dogs most likely to be allergic to? Quite simply, they're most likely to be allergic to chicken, and consequently turkey and duck, and beef, and consequently bison. So chicken and beef, those are the two big primary causes or triggers for food allergies in dogs, followed by pork, I'm sorry, lamb and dairy. Lamb and dairy are sort of the next tier of causes, followed by pork, brown rice, wheat, soy, corn. So those 10 or 12 different ingredients are going to be responsible for the vast majority of food allergies. So if we suspect your dog has a food allergy, then we need to get them on a different protein. Understand that food allergies are primarily an ingredient issue and not a brand issue. And we see a lot of clients, they'll just, if they suspect for some reason they think their dog has a food allergy, they just get them off wheat. Seldom works because wheat is low on the list of causes for food allergies. Or they'll just switch to a different brand of food, not realizing that the protein, the main protein is the cause, not the brand, okay? Keep that in mind. So when it comes to different foods that we want to switch to, depends on where you shop. If you just go to the grocery store or go to, say, Walmart to buy your food, no problem. Definitely you can find a salmon-based dog food or a whitefish-based dog food, and those are perfectly acceptable choices to switch to. If you go to a pet store or go to, let's say, an online store, you're going to have a much wider range of choices. And the different choices would include things like catfish, kangaroo, trout, venison, rabbit. So you've got a lot of other choices available to you as far as dog foods. But you've got to become a label reader of the ingredients. You've got to look at those ingredients to get a better understanding of what is in your dog's pet food presently and what you're actually going to be looking for. So again, going back to what they're most likely to be allergic to, chicken and beef are going to be the two primary causes for food allergies in dogs. Here's a really important point. treats matter just as much as the dog food. Crucially important, because if you're giving your dog, you're getting them onto a like a salmon-based diet, but you keep on giving like chicken McNuggets and things like that, or another family member's sort of cheating and giving inappropriate treats, you need to be aware that that can be a big issue as well. So make sure you have a family powwow, everybody's on the same page, and it's easy to find treats to give, and they're called vegetables, okay? So celery, carrots, cucumbers, gosh, I mean, vegetables, okay? What are they going to like? I don't know, but you can experiment, and you can sure as heck find something that they're going to like as a treat. But please, please, please do not buy anything in a box or a bag because invariably they're going to have the very ingredients in there that we want to avoid. So again, nothing with chicken, nothing with beef, nothing with dairy. That means no cheese, guys. Nothing with pork, which means no pig's ears. Nothing with wheat, which means staying away from the little junky kind of treats like, I don't know, pepperonis and liver snaps and things like that. Just keep them on the shelf, keep walking, and go to your produce department. That's where you'll find the appropriate treats. Now, as far as fruits, because I do get that question, can I give my dogs fruits? Absolutely. If you want to give them some blueberries or peach, pieces or slices, or some strawberry or apple slices, I am fine with that. If you're not aware, crucially important that you recognize that grapes and raisins can be poisonous to dogs. So absolutely never, ever, ever give your dogs grapes or raisins, either one, because they can not only be toxic, but they can also be fatal to your dog. So definitely avoid that, okay? So key takeaways again, it's primarily an ingredient issue, not a brand issue. Avoid primarily, when we suspect the problem, avoid chicken and beef first and foremost, followed by lamb and dairy. Also, treats matter just as much as the dog food. But here's a very, very important takeaway, and probably the most important thing I want to speak about food allergies. Most dogs with a food allergy also have an environmental and or seasonal allergy. In fact, the seasonal allergies and environmental allergies are more common. So if you think your dog has a food allergy and you change your dog's food and it's right in the middle of your dog's seasonal allergy, guess what? You're not going to see any change. You're not going to see any improvement at all, even if that dog does have a food allergy. Why? Because they're biting, scratching, licking, itching, chewing because of the seasonal allergies or because of environmental allergies, not just because of food allergies. So I know that's really frustrating. So a lot of these dogs that are still pretty itchy during the winter time, when we don't see the seasonal allergies, that's a good time for us to really evaluate if the dog food is making a difference. So always worth changing the food, but to keep your expectations and understand that they're more likely to be allergic to other forms of allergies that could be causing or primarily responsible for the biting, scratching, licking, itching, chewing, okay? So hopefully that'll give you some good information, some good takeaways for things for you to do regarding your dog's food allergies. Please take the time, read the handout that just reinforces the things we just spoke about. And if you have any questions, reach out to us, and we hope to see you soon. Thanks.